You guys, thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. We are doing a little rock hounding. It's another nighttime rock hounding. I'm very excited for it. So as a reminder, we're here at Franklin Mineral Mine / Museum, but they're very famous for their fluorescent minerals. So every now and again, they will open it up at night when you can get some really cool stuff going on. So these are the main minerals that we're looking for. We have the orange calcite. In this picture, it looks red, but I'm telling you, it's really more of a bright orange. They're known, these specimens are best known for the calcite sort of sprinkled with the willemite. So it will be like bright orange sprinkled with green. The Hardystonite, which is this guy here, I believe is only found at this location. There's hydrozincite and microline. I've never found microline before, you guys. So, you know, we're going to be keeping our eyes peeled. Okay, guys, so we have our chisel. I do have a rock hammer, although I don't think I'm really going to use it. I think I'm going to use chisel and little mini sledge here, and then safety glasses. That's mostly it. And then we have the fancy shortwave UV light. That's going to help us actually find the fluorescing minerals, because the fluorescing minerals don't just glow in the dark. Some people think that the lights go down and they just fluoresce. You actually need a special wavelength light. All right, you guys, let's see what we can find. I'm going to just actually look right here. I think I see some calcite. Let's see if I'm right. Right there. There's a piece of calcite. What did I tell you? The calcite with the willemite, the green spots. So this flashlight is not an orange flashlight. It's shortwave UV. So if you were to look at it, which don't look at shortwave UV because that's very unsafe. It's different from the black light that you might have at your home. It's going to be purple. So if this was reflecting purple, you might think, oh, that's just the reflected light. This is proper fluorescence, just right in front of us. They were originally mining for iron and then transitioned over to zinc. And it's because these formations have a lot of iron and zinc that we get these fluorescing minerals. It's the impurities in the crystal structure that makes them fluoresce. So a super pure calcite, an incredibly pure specimen of calcite, is not going to fluoresce. It needs the impurities, some of the metal impurities, especially iron is known for making things fluoresce. There's no fluorite around. I really want to go hunting for fluorite. I know there are a few places out in the Midwest, for instance, famous for it. I would love to go looking for fluorite, y'all. So this fluorescing, these fluorescing minerals, it's the same principle. Anything that glows in the dark that we have, you know, not running off of electricity, but something that actually glows in the dark. Like if you have any glow in the dark stickers or something. It's the same principle. A lot of these minerals don't phosphorus, meaning they don't continue to generate light after you remove the UV, but some of them do. If they do, it's called phosphorescence. So what I'm really looking for are some of the more unusual fluorescent stones. And then also I'm looking for stuff that has some phosphorescence in it. Sun is going down really fast. Yeah. I was hoping to get we're going to keep going, guys, until it gets totally pitch dark and we can't see anything on stream anymore. Okay. Ooh, this is something. So I think this is hydrozincite, that light blue running through the calcite. You can see the orange and then that streak, that's actually a fluorescent streak. It's not like a weird smudge. That is actually a vein of one of the fluorescent minerals. Yeah, some of these stones are huge. That's why the chisel is essential for this particular location, at least. Let's see what we have. Whoa. Of course, the stone I put it on is partly fluorescent, which is not helpful. So there's this big one, kind of big one here. This mostly green one, so it's mostly willemite, but it has a little calcite in it. And then I have one up here that's more calcite than willemite. But they all have both, which is like really characteristic of like minerals here. It's really famous for the calcite and willemite mix. We're gonna get to a spot where you guys can hopefully see a little better. All right, let's see if we can get to, sometimes there's like a little pile that we can just sort of sift through, which is what I would love to do, because then we don't have to move as much and we can get a little bit better look at the rocks and whatnot. Okay, here we go. Little bite-sized pieces, so I wouldn't even need, if we find something cool, I wouldn't necessarily need to get my chisel out, which is nice. I think this might be a feldspar, y'all. I think this is a feldspar. I might grab it. It's not an amazing feldspar, but I think it might be a feldspar. This one right here. It's another feldspar. You guys, there's so much feldspar tonight. I'm pretty sure it's a deep red velvet. A bunch of feldspars, you guys. I've like hit the jackpot on this one. So there's this like really deep red. That's the feldspar. And you can see how it's different from the calcite. I mean, boy, does that calcite really light up, right? But it's also a bright orange. And the feldspar is kind of this deeper red glow. This is the little cheat sheet that they give you. And it doesn't have everything on it. So that light blue that I think we found earlier, it was just a little vein of it. That's the hydrozincite, I think is what we found. We found a lot of calcite and green willemite, but the feldspar's not even on here. Oh, that's a very good feldspar. We're gonna grab this one, y'all. Oh, let's see. Can you guys see it there? I just get excited, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna grab these two. I'm gonna have a bucket full of feldspar. There's no reason for this, y'all. There's absolutely no reason for me to have an entire bucket full of feldspar, but you know what? We're here. How often do we get to come out here, right? I'm going to collect a bunch of feldspar pieces and we're going to decide which ones are the best because I'm just getting look at this one. There's another cool one right here. They're just this velvety glow, which is really different than the calcite. And I mean, the calcite is shocking in how fluorescent it is. I mean, it's really striking, but once you've been staring at it for a really long time, some of this other stuff just also is really eye-catching, like this guy right here. Okay. So these kind of, the feldspar, I think kind of look maybe purple-ish, but it's like a deep, deep, deep red. It's like a velvety red, as opposed to the calcite. Ooh, calcite and willemite. But we're gonna get back to our little pebble pile. Here's our pebble pile, y'all. And I have my bucket. And so you can see, like, some people have been digging, which is smart because there's going to probably be good stuff under there. But all of this dust is going to be tricky to tell what's actually fluorescent and what's not. Here's a good example. Do you guys see that? It looks like everything is fluorescing in here, doesn't it? That's just the dust. Ooh, but that's an amazing piece of feldspar. I know, Lita, cool it with the feldspar. I can't help it. We're going to casually browse. I don't know why I'm finding so much feldspar in this particular pile. It's a little surprising. There's a lot of purple fluorescence here, which is not true fluorescence. It's very disappointing. I would love for it to be true fluorescence, but it's not. I'm honestly filling up my bucket with feldspar. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for it. Okay, guys, we're gonna just really casually look at this. Everywhere, look, there's feldspar. I didn't notice the feldspar until I was here last time. I thought I saw a cool one. We have more feldspar. At what point, we should put up a poll, at what point am I going to stop trying to collect feldspar? Oh, 2 more feldspar pieces. Do I take them? Of course I do, y'all. Of course I do. And I might go into the museum and see if we can take a peek at their mineral exhibit really quickly. Their fluorescent minerals. They have a bunch of cool minerals here, but just because it is getting dark, I know it's getting really hard for you guys to see. So minerals, what does it take to be a mineral? Well, first and foremost, you have to have a crystal structure. So if you are not a crystal, you are not a mineral. You also have to be naturally made, but here's the thing that I think is a bit of shenanigans. Naturally made, to me, I think, should just mean not man-made. But animals make crystals sometimes. Think some shells are made out of crystals, and a lot of corals, but those are made by animals. So technically they're counted as a separate category. They're called biominerals, which I feel like is rude. But anyway, so one of the most, I think it's the most abundant mineral on Earth. You can't name a mineral until it's been found. So a hypothetical mineral, you're not allowed to officially name it. And so there was a mineral that we knew existed because it had been lab created. We suspected, like the royal we, suspected that it existed on Earth because of the chemistry of the mantle and stuff, but it had never been discovered. And so it had been studied in the lab for decades. And I think only like 15 years ago, a sample of it was finally recovered. A natural sample of it was finally recovered. And so they were able to name it. So ice, naturally formed ice out in the wilds, you can call a mineral. But ice that you made in your refrigerator, not a mineral. Or not, sorry, If you are making ice in your refrigerator, you probably have to check your settings in your ice maker or in your freezer. That ice is not a mineral, even though chemically it's the same. Let's see if we can sneak in. Let's see if they'll let us take a peek at the fluorescent mineral display. All right, y'all, here we go. The lights are on, or off right now. The lights are on. Here's some smaller examples. Gosh, there's some fancy stuff. So if we were to see this under natural light, these would just look like there's very ordinary stones that we would. Oh, you know what? Let me show you. This is a little kiddie area. It's a little like boxed in area, and there's like smaller stones, so you don't need to chisel anything. So you can see the kids can have sort of a safer place, like the little kids can have a little bit of a safer place and still find lots of cool stuff. Or even if you just don't feel like going down into that crazy area, because it is a little bit treacherous, you can still find some really cool stuff up here, especially if you're interested in the willemite and calcite. So were you guys able to see any? There we go. Right? Look at that. That's a great piece of willemite. We have a small, that is a small streak. So far, it's the only piece I found of that light blue. We have a classic calcite and willemite piece. This is feldspar. Here's another calcite. Come on, gimbal. This is a willemite. These are like all of my feldspar pieces. They do, I promise they do fluoresce. I feel like maybe this light, I may have gotten one of the dimmer lights, because this is not doing this feldspar justice, let me tell you. All right, well, you can kind of see that one. This feldspar is doing what it's supposed to do. So I think this one is probably definitely a keeper. Oh my gosh, that is one heck of a piece. Congratulations, that's beautiful.
That's Hardystonite.
Yeah, it's Hardystonite. You guys, this is one of the pieces we're looking for. They're hard to find. That is beautiful. Thank you so much. Hardystonite, you guys, I have one piece of that, and this took me a long time to find. I think we're going to end up having an incredibly short stream, which is really disappointing because I wanted to show you guys a little bit more of this mine. But it got so dark so quickly. I think I'm going to need to get like a nighttime lens for this gosh darn thing. There we go. We got some fluorescent rocks for y'all. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging. I'm sorry for the short stream, but I had a great time hanging with you all, and we'll check back in and let you know what it is that we found.